Hello, YouTube. Welcome to this new series where we will try to get games and consoles on eBay for a profit. We'll start with Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Crystal, and Super Mario Advance. Let's get into it. Let's start by saying that these games are not necessarily broken. They can be untested or some of them already work, but if I find a good deal, I will get it and sell it on my eBay store. My eBay store has been online for around 10 months and I already sold 250 items. So it's been very fun, honestly. I do this for fun mostly, to learn a new skill, and just because I love games. So let's start with these two Pokemon games. I know I showcase a lot of Pokemon games on my videos, but it's pretty much just because Pokemon is everywhere. They sell super fast. They also, there's a good margin if you find a good deal. So that's what I like to buy and try to sell Pokemon games. So we start by testing the three games, and as you can see, Crystal and Silver work normally, they just don't save. But Super Mario Advance, sorry, is not working. Let's try again. And as you can see, we don't have a Nintendo logo. So there's something bad about it. We will leave that for the end, and let's start with these two games, Pokemon Silver, which I purchased for $45. Pretty expensive, but these games go all the way to 90. I've seen some sellers that sell them for 120. In Pokemon Crystal situation, this is one of the most expensive Pokemon games. I got this one for 130 because it had no label, but it goes all the way to 210. I've seen it all the way to 250. So let's start by opening the case, inspect the shell. It looks good. It's not broken. Um, Also, the board looks well. It looks fine, just a little bit dirty. And the shell, as you can see, it's in good condition. Now, Pokemon Silver. Uh, the sticker, the label is a little bit damaged. That's very normal in these retro games. Shell is a little bit dirty, but we will get back to that in a minute. Let's start by removing the batteries. I always like to have these batteries out of the way. As you could see before, these batteries are already dry. We know that because they are not holding any safe. So let's just get rid of them. Use our iron to hit the pads and lift with our tweezers. Lift gently so we don't rip the pads apart. And now let's remove that 20, 30-year-old solder. Let's apply some flux. Small amount will be enough. And now let's use our copper braid to heat it and absorb all the solder. Just like that. Super easy, very safe. It's a very nice way to practice soldering skills if you are interested into that. You don't need by no means any expensive soldering iron. Let's do the same thing with the other one. I recently went into a trip and I got many games that I want to showcase in a different video. Um, Very rare games, by the way. I'm very excited to show that to you and also to put them online on the store. But at the same time, I need time to do that, and we will get to that when I have a day off from my work. Let's make sure that we are removing all the old solder. We want our customers that are going to pay a lot of money for these games that have fresh, new solder into their games, and of course that they are very, very clean. I will just speed into this part. This is me cleaning the old flags and all the grime and gunk that these copper pins have. So that is done. I will install battery holders. I like the battery holders the most for these games. It will make it very easy in the future to swap the batteries. and it's also easier, in my opinion, to sell for customers online. These battery holders are very expensive. They're like 50 cents a piece. After they're soldering into position, let's snap the battery into the holder. Do the same thing. I use a white battery holder for Pokemon Crystal just because I think it looks nicer in the clear shell. And just like that, we have installed these two battery holders and brand new batteries. I'll give it another clean into the pads just to make it shine. I normally use price charting for having an idea of my prices. As you can see, this solder that I use has 2% flux. That's why I don't add much flux when I'm soldering these battery holders. Now let's go ahead and clean the cartridge of Pokemon Silver. You saw in the beginning it was a little bit dirty, as you can see on the cotton swab. I'm using IPA plus Q-tip. Like I say, we want our customers to receive the best possible item they can get. Oops. If you're curious or interested in buying some of this game, you can visit my YouTube profile and you will find the link to the store there. After all that's done, let's test the battery. You need a multimeter to do this. Um, these new batteries should have 3.3 voltage. Let me move this a little bit to the right. And as you can see, 3.27, 3.31. So they're working. Another test you can do to check if the RAM chip is getting energy is test this ground path. And then the first leg on the right, and I think it's number 9 or 8, this one right here. If they are receiving a little bit less voltage than the battery itself, they're good. This will mean that the game will save, unless it's something very rare. Now, to end this restoration, we will put a brand new custom label into the shell of Pokemon Crystal, just to make it look nice. Of course, I'm going to mention on the listing that this is a custom-made reproduction label, not the original one. Actually, I've seen that this doesn't affect the price much. Um, I don't know, maybe it's the quality of the reproduction. This is something that my sister did, and we printed several copies. We haven't put them online because I want to wait a little bit because there's some small details that she needs to work on. But once we have the final product, we will surely post it on the store for everybody to be able to purchase it. After all of that, let's close these games and we are good to go. This will be listed. Also, by the time I'm posting this video, Pokemon Crystal was already sold for $210. So pretty much all my money that I spent on these three games has already been paid off. Now I just need to sell the other two to make some profit. The Pokemon Silver is actually in good shape, I will say. It won't be on the higher end for a sale, but it's in really good shape. And this is how Pokemon Crystal looks. I think it looks very, very good actually. So let's get these two out of the way and let's go with Super Mario Advance. I actually stole this for $3.35. It was an auction that for some reason nobody put money on it. But there's a catch. The seller described this item as not working. So we'll see if we can make it work. It's listed on price charting for around $20. So, it's not a great margin, but still. So let's see what we got here. I see a lot of gunk in this pin. Maybe it's not allowing continuity to pass from the pin to the board. That might be the issue, but I don't see any other uh, major issue in this board. So let's go ahead and bring the multimeter and test this specific pin just to see if it's getting continuity. Looks like no. If I touch them, of course they beep, but this one has continuity. This one, no. So this might be the issue. We might find that it's just plain and simple cleaning. Let me speed this up. I'll clean with IPA. I will also apply some deoxide, spread it, and now magic eraser to remove all the gunk on those copper pins. I think it's a little bit hard to get away, so I will scratch it a little bit. Now let's test. Now we have continuity. Will this fix the game though? Let's test the surroundings. Looks good. So I will test the game. Unfortunately, it didn't work. For a game that I paid $3, um, I don't have the time right now to put much effort into it. So I will put it aside and we will revise it into the future when I have more time. What I want to do, just because I just returned from my vacation, is to post all the games and videos that I have pending. I will start 2 or 3 new series. So, like I said, I'm spoiling a little bit because I don't want this video to be longer than it is, but I tried reflowing it and it didn't make it work. So cleaning and reflowing this board was helpless. Uh, it will be a trace issue or a board issue. So hope you like this video. If you enjoy this kind of videos, please let me know in the comments. We'll see you in the next one. Wait for episode 2 and expect more series to come after this one. Thank you.